I was a little bit bothered by having to murder so many U.S. Marines.
Oh, Christ almighty. Will you kill Russians in this fucking game?
Well, good. Russians deserve it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday Night Gentlemen Multimedia Empire official podcast. This is episode number 3. This is where we will be talking about comic books, video games, TV shows, and everybody's favorite political discourse. I am your host, Tactic Angel, and with me is my murderous socialist friend, Midget Radio.
Hello. I was waiting for the tag this time and I was going to wait it out.
I reversed it so that you couldn't screw up everything.
I'm a little upset that you didn't have enough faith in me to just remember it this time and to say my hello at the correct time, but fine.
But I've known you for a long time, and there are reasons.
I'm just saying it's only episode 3. I would have knocked it out. I would have knocked it out this
Maybe
time.
next time. Maybe next time.
Fine.
Episode 4, we'll see. Maybe an undisclosed episode in the future will give you the opportunity.
Okay, surprise me. I think I'm up for the challenge.
Okay, good call. Well, welcome back to the United States.
I was in the U.S. The whole time. I'm happy to be back on the mainland. But I was in Hawaii for about a week. It was nice.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're nice and rested and opinionated.
Super opinionated.
As you have seen, but as no one else has seen, our subject list today includes PlayStation news, the holiday game lineup that we're all looking forward to, and Longmire, which, never mind, we'll get to that.
Okay. This is awesome.
So the first on that list is the PlayStation news. There's good news and there's bad news if you're into the PlayStation scene. I'm sure that you have seen, because I've seen you online since the release of the new update, that there is a system update.
Yeah. I just was introduced to that yesterday, I think. When I got back Friday, that was one of the first things that I did, was turn on the PlayStation.
It's good to have priorities.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it had been a while. And of course, being gone for a week meant that there was going to be a big stupid update that I would have to download before I could see whether or not my friend Tactic Angel was online.
And of course he was.
He was.
Maybe in the future I'll do a World of Tanks episode while we're in an off week.
That would be fascinating.
I'm sure it would be more comfortable than what you came back to. So the update, though, it updated the UI, which is the user interface.
Yeah.
The quick menu.
Yeah.
It updated the share menu, which I don't know if you do any of.
I don't do any of that, no.
And it allowed you to put things into folders.
Folders, really? So the only thing I've actually seen is the little quick menu thing. And mostly I only look at the part where you can turn the PlayStation off. Other than that, I don't really know what differences there are.
So they went with what I would say is a really clean version of kind of the partial pop-outs from the side that Xbox had been doing for a long time.
Okay.
I had never been able to figure out how those Xbox things work, because I think the last time I looked at it was kind of early in the 360's life cycle.
Yeah,
and it was honestly, I thought it was a mess.
I thought so too. Because Kim has one, and I remember the first time I pulled it up, it looked like initially it was just a bunch of advertising. Like you press the little Xbox button and there's a picture of people playing Xbox. And there's some other stuff about what you can do on Xbox Live. I was unsure like where the games were. But that could be just that I'm an idiot.
It probably didn't help. But I think this new thing, I mean, it's a lot cleaner, and it's just like it's very stark metro. It's a lot like what Google is doing with all of its apps.
Okay. I wonder if mine is
I gotta say,
if mine is even accurate, because I have the Star Trek whatever theme on it, and that still looks basically the same.
So when like if you long hold the PlayStation button, like is there a skin on the left-hand side?
That I get, and it comes out as like a side pop up.
And it's just a solid color, right?
Yeah, I think it's
text.
orange. I want to say orange.
Okay. It sounds like they don't skin over that then, because I mean I'm just using the default little wave thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And when I pop it out, it's blue, just like everything else in my system is blue.
Okay.
I'd encourage you to look at folders. I suppose you didn't set any folders up.
Hell no. No, but that sounds nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. I put all of my Dark Souls in one folder, and I called it Punishment.
Nice. I like it. Have you beaten Dark Souls 3 yet, by the way?
No.
Neither have I.
It feels harder than it ever was.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I'm going to go back and do it, but
yeah.
Those tanks aren't going to drive themselves.
Right.
So overall, I like the new skin, the new way that the menus work, particularly the share and the long hold on the PlayStation button.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it too.
You can do anything. You can like start up music. Like I have a Spotify account, so I can just get that going.
That's cool.
While I'm playing something, I can join and leave parties. I can share with just like 2 buttons. Pretty neat.
Thank God for that.
But now comes the bad news.
Okay.
Did you see? You should say yes to this because I drew your attention to it. Did you see that we are not getting mod support for Fallout and Skyrim?
Yeah. I'm not sure how to feel about that because I mean, as far as I understood, that's specific to the PlayStation, right? I mean, I imagine that there are still going to be mod communities around those games, but they will be largely focused on the PC versions, as I mean they've always been essentially. So it just sounds to me like as PlayStation gamers, we're not getting something we already weren't getting in the past.
That's true, but they did say that we were going to get it eventually. So that we were going to actually be able to download some of those mods. And like what would happen is someone on a PC would make the mod, right? And it would go into a cloud, and then certain mods, as long as they met system requirements and didn't have certain features, would be able to be ported then onto console. And
yeah, that'd be cool.
Xbox does have this already, and I guess
I didn't
works.
Know that. Okay.
I guess there's a lot. So, like all good things on the internet, some people have been sending death threats from like Microsoft players have been sending death threats to PC modders because they use certain features that aren't compatible with the the Xbox.
Right.
So that's a problem.
Well, you got to express your dissatisfaction. I mean,
and the only way to reasonably do that is to threaten people with violence.
That's generally how we bring about change. That's common to both the video game community, the political climate, and basically just our culture, I guess, as a whole.
Yes. If you don't like something, kill it.
Kill it. Throw rocks at it. Whatever you gotta do.
So I actually set this, and I set this topic just to see what your thoughts were on it. And like 2 or 3 days after I said it, then Bethesda said, we're still working on it.
Okay.
I guess the whole thing was that it had fallen apart because Sony uses a proprietary sound formatting, and there was some disagreement about how to make this work on, the PlayStation. Because, I mean, if you and I were to record something, we wouldn't save it in a .psn file or whatever it is.
Right.
We would save it as a WAV or maybe an MP3 or an MP4 or whatever.
Now I kind of want us to have our own proprietary sound format. And then you would have to like download an application that we would develop so that you could listen to this podcast. All of our one listener will have to do that in order to.
I have on good authority we have at least 2 listeners.
That's pretty fantastic. Well, it's about to get a lot harder for them. So
I hope they're dedicated. So I guess like after I said this, like all hope is not lost. Like if that was what you were basing your hope off of.
That's good.
You can go back to hoping. But there's no solid concrete news.
That'd be nice. Well, so I wonder then distribution of any like mod content, would that typically be free, and would that be through the PlayStation Store?
I think it would be I think the way it works right now in like the Xbox, you actually click into the mod community through the game. So like on the start menu, there'd be like new game, load game, mod nonsense.
Okay.
I think there's actually a picture of it in the Skyrim remastered. Some of the imagery that came out associated with that, screenshots.
Okay, that'd be interesting to see. And I guess, but in general, is it still free on the Xbox?
Yeah, I think everything there is free.
Okay.
I haven't heard any differently. I know for like a short minute, Bethesda offered the people who make mods the opportunity to sell them through kind of their own official store.
Yeah.
And obviously they would get a cut of that, which is like pretty cool for them. But also then these other people who are spending all this time could do it. And like, that was a big deal. And I think within like a month, they decided, everyone hates us now. So we should not do that.
Interesting.
Maybe that's not a fair characterization.
Maybe.
But that's kind of what I got out of it.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. It seems weird like to compare that to CBS and Paramount's approach to people producing things that they don't exactly have licenses to produce. It sounds like, I guess, well, Microsoft at least is sort of embracing that fan community.
It's not Microsoft, it's Bethesda. It was Bethesda.
While CBS Paramount chooses to sue it instead.
And man, we degenerate back into Star Trek. It would be a lot better. I think that I think there's a lot of people out there that would be willing to pay for an Axanar DVD or a Star Trek Continues DVD. And why not? Give those people a little bit of opportunity to, recoup some of their expenses. I'm sure that it really doesn't pay for everything, even though they do have these pretty successful Kickstarters and other crowdfunding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a much better way of handling it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, cool. So, but we may still see mods in the future on PlayStation.
We may, in some shape or form. I guess stay tuned.
Okay. Exciting.
So, moving on from there, though, and this is going to be like one of our smoothest segues, because what we're going to talk about now are video games that will be coming out.
Okay.
And we were already talking about video games.
Yeah.
So, like, smooth.
Yeah.
Super smooth. Way better than Subject Over.
Much better. We're getting better every episode. Just a little better.
So I'm going to go in order. You know the order that I'm going to go in.
First, I just want to say, though, that, like, there's already just a shitload of games out, and we're both, I would say, largely exclusively PlayStation gamers. I don't, like, maybe screw around on the PC a little bit, but mostly it's PlayStation. But I mean, even right now, there's a shitload of stuff out that I want to play that I haven't, like Uncharted 4. I don't even know what it looks like, but I absolutely want to play that game. So I know you're about to now launch into a whole just fucking goddamn massive list of other games that I will also probably want to play.
Not all of these I want to play, actually, but
Okay.
yes. I agree. I mostly play on the PlayStation. For a while, I played on my phone. I found that experience was eating up my battery and actually not all that fun.
I'm not big on on any of the mobile content, really.
And then I do play sometimes. There are a couple of like 4X games that I like to play on PC because it's just not a thing that you can really do on consoles.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can't be made, but it just isn't.
Yeah.
So that, and there was actually a Battlefleet Gothic game that I needed to play.
Okay. Needed to play it.
So XCOM 2, this is the third game in the rebooted XCOM universe. Prior to XCOM, Enemy Within, there were about 5 or 6 games that were made back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I never played any of them.
Neither did I. But I remember actually T played XCOM UFO Defense. He was really excited about that game too.
Well, he's a giant dork.
I know.
But anyway, nobody knows who that is.
I know, it doesn't matter. At least maybe one of our listeners will know who that is.
Yeah.
50% of our listening audience.
I guess it's a big enough audience to pander to. XCOM is a tactical turn-based strategy game. It features some RPG elements. Insofar as advancing your squad members and operatives, you manage resources, technology, and inventory, and then the battles are handled as kind of a turn-based strategy once you get into actual engagement. This is a notoriously unforgiving title.
Yeah.
And it's been out on PC since I think February, and it will release September 27th, which I guess is...
damn, really that soon?
I guess is yesterday for when this is going up.
Yeah, holy shit.
I'm really looking forward to it. I played the last XCOM quite a bit.
Yep.
Have you watched much of it?
I saw. I mean, I saw when it was originally coming out, which I guess was back in February, and I saw some of the videos around that. I haven't really seen anything since then. But yeah, I mean, I'm extremely excited. I think we got XCOM. The original one was Enemy Within, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Enemy Within, and that came out. That was free on PlayStation Plus.
It was?
Yeah, that's how I got it originally. And played it and completely fell in love with it. And then the Enemy Unknown version came out, and I bought that, even though it was largely the same game. Though there was quite a few changes that were pretty sweet. And yeah, I mean, they're excellent games.
I did the same thing, but when Enemy Within came out, I felt like this is a company that I feel I can give my money to.
Yeah.
And that I probably owe some money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For as much as, yeah.
So
a lot of hours logged into that game.
So this game takes place some 20 years afterwards, after the events of XCOM Enemy Unknown or Enemy Within.
Yeah, but the idea is that the aliens won, right? I mean, the invasion was successful, I think. There's a little bit of retconning. Yeah. It's like you didn't beat the first game.
Well, and I've always wondered this, particularly with like the Mass Effect games. Like, there's always a disconnect. Like, and this may be BioWare's fault, because they're the ones who make
Mass
Effect, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Too. Yeah.
And their writing is always like, you have to be generous.
Yeah.
Between the titles. Because sometimes you're like, well, I said in this conversation this, and you're just like, you just got to go with
it. Yes.
So I don't have a problem with the idea that you would lose. I know that I've probably lost more campaigns than I won.
Yeah.
So it's not completely unfair. Maybe you're thinking of the time that you won. It's thinking of the 4 or 5 times that you lost before you won.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
So you're going to take control of a group of these XCOM operatives who, I guess in this case, are kind of like insurgents.
Yeah.
And then I think you have like a helicopter base or like a floating aircraft carrier.
Okay. Cool.
And that's your base, and I guess moving your base around is part of the thing.
Oh, interesting. All right.
I am looking forward to hopefully not having to manage what like Brazil and South Africa think I should be doing.
Yeah, the statecraft was a little annoying at times.
We don't think you're doing enough to defend Earth, so we're going to go over here. We brought in Guillermo del Toro. We're pretty sure we're just going to build a giant wall.
Yeah.
It's going to work.
We have this thing called concrete, and we feel like it'll be pretty effective against giant monsters.
Yeah. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, watch Pacific Rim.
It's just the most bizarre decision for entire nations to make.
Yeah, it's good. We're going to build a wall.
It's fine, you guys.
Big wall.
Fuck these robots. Concrete.
So that's a must buy for me. It is actually going to arrive at my doorstep on Tuesday.
I did not pre-order it. I probably should.
If you get onto Amazon, you can still get 20% off for 14 days after the release.
It's just, I mean, I've already got games sitting on my shelf right now that I have not played. And I've usually been, I feel like up until this last year, I more or less only ever bought a game after I completed the one that I already had. So I'd only buy new games, you know, on the days that if I didn't have anything else to play. But and now it's like impossible to do that.
And you've been married for about
a year now.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The causality.
I guess that does have something to do with it. Wow.
Go tell your wife that she is ruining your life.
She is taking up a lot of my fucking time, apparently.
Does she listen to this?
No.
That's probably good.
She does not listen to an almost hour long, sometimes longer than an hour podcast about fucking comic books and video games.
She has to hear that every day anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right, so moving right along, because we do have a long list.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Warhammer Vermintide. That is Warhammer : Vermintide. Oh, sorry. It's Warhammer : End Times - Vermintide. It has a very long title with a subtitle and a sub-subtitle.
Okay.
This is a first-person shooter in the style of Left 4 Dead set in the Warhammer world.
Okay. Well, this is probably a little more up your alley than mine.
You didn't even bother to look at the trailer, did you?
No. No, hell no.
Oh, that sounds like a problem.
Yeah, he's I guess my dog sees somebody. I don't know.
It's a big deal.
A lot of false alarms. Oh, the doorbell ran off.
Do we need to stop?
It's fine. No, it's fine. Fuck it. Just go.
So this is a Left 4 Dead type game. Players of this game will be able to choose from, I think there's 4 different classes, and they all have different abilities and different weapons. And you play together with friends usually to complete the single player experience. And then I guess you can go back and do it on harder difficulty settings with more random variability to it.
Well, that sounds terrible already.
It's not that bad. So for the most part, I think you're going to be fighting a lot of Skaven in this, which are giant rat people.
Okay.
Thus, Vermintide.
Oh, like varmints. Like varmint.
Yeah. This game is made by Fat Shark, which is a video game company that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And it will be released October 21st.
Okay.
Wait, no, it's not. It's October 4th.
All right.
I think on PlayStation and Xbox, I think it's only $40. It's not a full price title. So I'm looking forward to it. Always been a big fan. This is my little bit of outreach for people who may want to consider playing that.
Fair enough.
But I'm going to move right along because you have nothing to say about it.
I do not.
You're gonna have nothing to say about this one too. You ready?
Okay.
Battlefield 1.
I don't know what this is.
Battlefield 1 is the 12th or so title in the Battlefield series. It's a first-person shooter, and this one takes place during World War I.
Oh, is that different from the other ones?
Well,
World War II?
Battlefield started in World War II.
Okay.
This one, I mean, it would be generous to say that it takes place in World War I.
Yeah.
Because like most of the countries used at best semi-automatic rifles, or more likely bolt action rifles.
Yeah.
And they give everybody a machine gun still.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, they had machine guns in World War I, didn't they? Like that was part of the trench warfare. I mean, I imagine they were largely mounted most of the time, but
yeah. So you had machine guns, and a lot of them were water cooled, so they'd weigh like 80 pounds.
Wow.
So
okay.
You're not running around with that. They were operated by like 2 people, so there's like one guy and he's shooting.
Okay.
And the other guy's like feeding the ammo into it so that it doesn't jam. Whatever. You get to run around on horses in this one. You get to jump into old school land ships like the Mark V tank and some other stuff. And then there are biplanes.
Okay.
I take it that you did not play the open beta for this.
No.
Okay. I think you were probably off of the mainland at the time. I did. My impression is basically that this game plays a lot like Star Wars Battlefront,
Okay.
but with a World War One skin.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's not. It's not interesting. So this game comes out. This one's October 21st. It's made by EA, so there you go.
Okay. I don't really have much to say about that at all.
Civilization 6.
Yes. Yeah. That's That's my review.
I agree. Well, I kind of agree. Have you read much about what is going to be different about Civ 6?
A little. I think it's interesting what they're doing with the cities and with city management, and that you have like zones or whatever they call them. And you'll actually see, when you build a wonder in a particular city, that an actual, part of the land will be zoned for that, and you'll be able to see it on the map. I think that's interesting. I think that's really interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't spent too much time paying attention to this. Civilization 6 is obviously the 6th Civilization game, if you don't count things like Beyond Earth or whatever that was called. Yeah. It's a famed game series by Sid Meier's. It's put out by 2K Games, who also puts out XCOM. So they're fighting with themselves for my time and energy there. I guess what they said is that the tech tree from like Civ 1 through 5 has been pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like I skipped a few and I still remember like the order being pretty.
Yeah.
Like they all resemble each other. In this one, I guess your situation on the map and your location relative to certain resources may increase or decrease your access to certain technologies.
That is kind of an interesting element. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to affect the actual gameplay.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Obviously, you're not going to make an atom bomb if you aren't around radioactive material.
Yeah.
And I don't know about all the old stuff, but it seems interesting. I'm not going to buy it straight off the shelf.
No, neither will I.
I guess this game is also coming October 21st.
God damn it.
Between this game and Battlefield 1, if you have half a mind, I would suggest buying this game instead.
Yeah. I think for us, God, we've probably played, every iteration of Civilization. At least the main ones, at least. Because I remember being in, junior high or whatever and playing Civilization until Civilization II came out. So yeah, I don't know. Now at this point, it's sort of a lifelong companion. I just feel obligated to play every number that comes out. Though I am excited about it.
I think I missed one. I might have missed Civ 2 or I might have missed Civ 3. I'm pretty sure it was 3.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely played 3. And I remember 2 because 2 was, I think, the first time you could move diagonally. Easily.
Was that one isometric? Or was that still
I think it was. Shit, I don't remember.
I remember one of them was at like a weird 3/4 isometric view.
Yeah. It might have been 2 because I remember. I don't know. I remember because you're trying to figure out which button to press to move in the appropriate direction. I had to put some thought into it. I think every time I hit the arrow key or
and
the
then
numpad.
You fuck it up. You're like, great.
Yeah.
Now those warriors are gonna invade my city. I have no defense. Damn it. looking forward to it.
Me too. Big time.
A game I was somewhat looking forward to also was The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Remastered.
Yeah.
This game is a re-release of Skyrim, obviously, a game that came out 5 years ago.
Gosh, that's crazy.
This one had promised increased graphics and mod support. So depending on what system you're on,
Yeah.
it could just be increased graphics.
Yeah.
There's new volumetric lighting, and it actually looks pretty good. Have you seen the trailers?
No. Mm-mm.
How lazy are you?
I know. I was off the mainland. What can I say?
I know, but like, you're supposed to take at least a passing interest in all of this. Spend all your time telling me how badass Dazzler is.
She's amazing. I don't know. I'm not sure if I get Skyrim, if I get the remastered version, it's not going to be for a while. I mean, there's still Fallout 4 DLC that I haven't played yet. I'm not going to jump into Skyrim having not completed Fallout.
Yeah, I agree with that. And without the mod support, I feel like this is not something I'm willing to pay the full $60 billing for.
No, definitely not.
If they said this is Skyrim and there are only 4 places in the game that you will ever see a load screen,
oh god, that would be amazing.
then I probably would.
Yeah.
Or if they said our average load screen is 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Also would be nice.
That's what I want more than any. Like, I don't care as much about like improved graphics or lighting or whatever. If they can knock out that load screen, if they could just put all their resources toward that would be fantastic.
I agree, particularly with this and the whole fast travel to wherever.
Yeah.
What is it? Whitehorn?
Yeah.
Whitehall? And then I need to go talk to the alchemist.
Yep.
She doesn't have what I need.
Nope.
Maybe it's the vendor who's immediately next door. And by the time you get out of his shop, you've been through 5, 6 load screens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game where like opening a door is the most laborious task in the entire thing.
It is. That and sorting through all of the buckets you picked up.
Yes, yeah. A lot of buckets.
That game is coming out October 28th. It is made by Bethesda.
Jesus.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'd probably wait on it.
Yeah, same here.
Moving on to The Last Guardian.
This is finally coming out. This has a date, doesn't it?
It does. Well, The Last Guardian is theoretically coming out December 7th, the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Did you know that if you had a child that was born, I should say, the day after their last game came out, they would be in 5th grade now?
That's awesome.
So, The Last Guardian is a game by SIE Studio Japan. More likely, people just refer to the group that's working on it as Team Ico.
Yeah.
Ico is a game that came out for the PlayStation 2 in 2001.
Man.
It was followed by the immensely successful and completely amazing Shadows of the Colossus.
Yes.
That was in 2005.
Wow.
They completely missed the boat on the PlayStation 3.
They did re-release those games, though. Didn't they? The HD versions for the PS3?
They did. I'm not sure if they actually worked on them. Usually they farm that out to like some other studio to do. I think it'd be real generous to give them that they released a PlayStation game based on re-releasing PlayStation
Yeah,
2 game on a PlayStation
maybe
3.
a little bit. Yeah.
It was still great fun. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh,
I'd
God,
buy it
yeah.
again on PlayStation
Yeah,
4.
I would too. Yeah.
So this game is probably going to be a puzzle solving game, which is kind of what they do.
Yeah.
I think they try to kind of disguise the fact that they're puzzle solving games.
Yeah.
Ico, not so much. In this one, I guess you have like a giant flying ferret friend.
Does he actually fly? Yeah, I guess he does. I think in that one video, yeah, he does fly.
Well, he has. So it's a giant winged ferret.
I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't fly.
He's almost like I think Falcor from the Neverending Story.
I think a lot of people think of the Neverending Story when they see that.
Yeah.
Except he was clearly like a flying Boston Terrier.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was very long though. Very long.
Half breed with the
A
dachshund.
little bit, yeah. I think he crawled around on his belly. Seemed like so, or maybe he was just always laying down.
Maybe it was that it was hard to do.
Maybe.
And they're just like, why doesn't he just lay down a lot?
That's a lot. We'll just do the head and the tail. That's it.
Mostly his eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this game. I really don't. I know. It's been 11 years.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to think of all of the games that have been in production for more than 5 years that came out that were good.
I know. But so the only thing is that, and I believe it is pronounced eco, despite your stubborn attitude toward pronouncing it Ico. I'm sure that it is eco. That's what I'm going to say. Tactic Angel.
Great.
But so Eco and Shadow of the Colossus are such, God, they are both such fantastic games that I don't know. I have to believe. I have to believe that The Last Guardian is also going to be a great game. I mean, even if it's the worst of the three, it could still be a fantastic game.
Yeah, but it could also be,
it could be
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Christopher Nolan did lay a turd on us with that one.
He did.
And
maybe if he had
you would
had
never have
6 years or something, then it would have been amazing. Maybe.
Yeah. I do feel like they needed more time for that script.
I
don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. This is not on the day one list for me.
Yeah, it's probably not for me either, though. I think that would be due more to time constraints than anything else. I'm not anticipating a dud, though. I do have a little bit more faith in them than that.
Okay. I mean, whatever you want, man.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to be a more optimistic person. I think it's necessary. Trying to put that out, put that energy into the universe. It's gonna be you. Yeah, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me, and it's gonna come back, and yeah, doing what I can to make it a better world.
Somebody's gonna buy you coffee at Starbucks or something.
If I anticipate The Last Guardian, it's gonna have a positive effect on America.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe. But speaking of positive effects, Dishonored 2 is a video game coming out. I believe this is Veterans Day. Dishonored 2 is the sequel to Dishonored, the game where you get to play as an assassin, making the world a better place.
That is one way to do it.
Also, you could just kill everybody, and it turns out that you make the world kind of a crappy place. This is strange because this is a first-person stealth game that's coming out, and you have kind of mystical powers. In this game, you're going to have the option of playing as either Corvo or what's her face? Emily Caldwin.
Okay.
Emily Caldwin was the daughter of the Empress who was killed in the first.
Oh yeah.
I don't think this is a spoiler because I think that if it sets up the plot, it's the premise.
Yeah.
So Emily Caldwin's mother is killed like immediately.
Yeah.
In the first Dishonored. You played it, right?
I played enough to know that much. I don't think I got real far in the game. But yeah, I mean, I certainly remember the intro.
Did you not like it?
I liked it. I mean, it felt a little bit like, just the mechanics alone felt a little bit like playing BioShock, which I didn't really care too much about BioShock either. But no, I mean, I liked it well enough. It's just, it's one of a number of games competing for my attention, and it's not really all that high on my list. So certainly not bad. It's a good game, but I'm not like desperate to play it or anything.
Okay. My opinion of it was, like, I remember playing the first Deus Ex, and it was a first-person stealth, do whatever you want game, and I remember just hating it.
Yeah.
And then, like, first-person stealth is always just a little bit weird because, like, your field of vision, unless you have, like, really terrible vision, I think, is wider than a 16:9 television.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like it usually works better in third person, but third person is also a little bit cheating because it makes you like almost super heroically.
Yeah, you can see around walls and stuff. Yeah.
But for some reason, when I played this game, when I played the original Dishonored, I thought it was really pretty good, really pretty engaging. I thought the way that you could kind of teleport around and you learn different skills and you can kind of craft your own advancement through this and make certain choices. I thought that was all pretty good. I was surprised that I liked it.
I can see that.
So I'm looking forward to this one. I don't know that it's on day one for me because, like you, I do have a backlog.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. If you're looking for a good first-person experience, I don't think there's a multiplayer aspect. The first one was written well. You can buy that one as an HD copy for PlayStation and Xbox, or you can play the original on the 360 or PS3.
Excellent.
Moving right along. moving. No, subject's over.
All right, subject over.
We're moving on to Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, okay.
Final Fantasy 15 is the 15th numbered Final Fantasy game. It features a whole bunch of bros riding around in their fantasy car.
Yeah.
Killing monsters.
It's like a Jeep or something, right? I couldn't understand even the trailer. I watched it, and I don't really know what was going on. It seems like they're on a road trip. It's like a monster killing road trip, I guess.
I thought the car looked a lot more like a Rolls Royce.
Okay. I don't remember it.
But I agree, and having seen someone play the demo, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no interest in this title.
I want to play Final Fantasy 12 HD on the PlayStation 4. That's it. That's all I really care about. And I guess if they do the Final Fantasy 7 remake is actually a real thing. So I'm certainly curious about that, but 12 HD and that's it. That's really all I care about.
Yeah, unless they make like a Tactics 2.
Yeah. God. Seriously.
I mean,
I
don't understand. I don't understand the direction of this.
I don't
because
You go.
Like, so many people hated 13.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're going to fix that because we're just going to have a whole bunch of effeminate men in a car together. It's like, well, this isn't really calling to me either.
No.
I like to wear jeans.
That's
and
cool.
a t-shirt. These guys looks like they're trying too hard with their mascara.
Yeah.
We may have superannuated the Final Fantasy demographic.
Maybe.
So whatever, that game is made by Square Enix. I don't know when it comes out.
I don't understand why they can't. Like, honestly, by now there should be, at least 6 different iterations of Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't understand why they can't do that. I swear to God, every tactical RPG for me that I've ever played since Final Fantasy Tactics, I've measured it against that game. I mean, including the XCOM games, which are fantastic in their own right. But I just want to play Final Fantasy Tactics again. I just want a robust job system with that tactical battlefield layout. That's all I goddamn want to play. there's only really one of those games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, unless you go back even further and start playing like Tactics Ogre, I agree.
Yeah, and but even Tactics Ogre, I don't like as well as Final Fantasy Tactics, because I feel like even Tactics Ogre, it's almost a little bit too much. Like, there's a little bit too much team management, and there's too many members of the party. Tactics just found the exact right balance. I don't know, they just nailed exactly what I want in a tactical RPG, and have never really followed up on it since then.
Yeah, I agree. I know that. Don't tell us that they're Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced.
I know it's games. Not the same. Yeah,
they are. They are somewhere between poor and just miserably unsatisfying.
Yeah. There's basically Tactics on the PlayStation, and then War of the Lions on was that the PSP, or was that actually on the Vita? I can't remember which one it actually.
That was the PSP. You could play it on the Vita.
Yeah, that was fantastic. But it was the exact same game, basically, which is why it was fantastic.
It just had a couple more things you could do.
Yeah.
And it had those new FMV.
Yeah, those were super nice
cutscenes. And it's so weird that they didn't look at something like Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah.
It comes out and it has such a similar aesthetic in terms of like that real-time rendering of a sketchy anime thing. You're like, that is the look.
Yeah.
That is exactly the look.
Just
that
do
if you
this.
made a modern a modern Final Fantasy Tactics, that's what it should look like.
Yeah.
I cast Fire 3, you zoom in, you see my guy do the Fire 3 thing.
Yeah.
It hits the enemy with the Fire 3 thing. It looks great.
Ugh.
I'd buy that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why it's not more of a franchise, but what are you gonna do?
That company is
that I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I wonder. For the longest time, they said we are not going to make it a remake of Final Fantasy VII until we have another game that makes more money than it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you'd at least have to try, right?
A little. I don't know that a few guys in a car is going to do it.
or Lightning turning that whole
yeah.
freaking game into some sort of hack and slash. It felt like 50% Final Fantasy and 50% Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Which is not the right direction. Not at all the right direction.
Whatever. I actually did write down, it comes out November 29th. This is on the I'm not going to bother list.
Yeah, who cares?
And this is not on either of our buy list, but I thought that we might not talk about Star Trek for a week. So I threw it in. Have you seen this? Star Trek Bridge Crew?
This is a VR game, right?
This is a VR game.
Now, is this Oculus specific or?
I think it's coming out for Oculus, the HTC Vive, and PlayStation VR.
Okay.
So,
well, hell yeah, I'm curious about this game.
I'm not $400 curious about this game.
Yeah.
I didn't write when this one comes out. I believe it's sometime in October. It's made by Ubisoft, and I don't know if you've played an Ubisoft game in the last 5 years.
Now Rocksmith 24, both of the Rocksmith games actually are Ubisoft games, and they're fantastic. So,
but other than those two games, have you played anything that they released?
I don't know. I hate the Assassin's Creed games. I fucking hate them. I think the only other thing I ever played with them was maybe a Prince of Persia game, which was a million years ago. I actually kind of like that. But no, other than that, no.
They also did the Splinter Cell games.
You know what? I gotta say, actually, the first Splinter Cell on the first Xbox, I really liked that game. I don't give a shit about anything that came afterwards, but I really enjoyed the first Splinter Cell.
So I've played The Division.
Okay.
I've played Watch Dogs.
Oh yeah.
and I've played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And I can tell you, Ubisoft has like a talent for making something that looks really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
And then just like making sure that it's not fun.
Yeah. I mean, really falling short of what it could have been.
So I don't know about this one. I thought it was interesting. So what you actually do in Star Trek Bridge Crew is you've got a captain and you've got like a helmsman and you've got like a science officer and an engineer. And like you have different things to do on the bridge. And like you go on these adventures. And I think it's pretty relatively scripted. It looks like it's set in the JJ verse, so
that blows.
It kind of does. It also kind of looks like garbage. The rendering isn't very good.
I don't know how to tell from these damn VR games and the images that you see or some of the video. It's just I feel like it's got to be so different, when you've actually got the goggles on.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's probably something to it. Like if you saw like a Pikachu and it just looked like a Pikachu.
Yeah.
But like then it was 3D. That's got to do something extra for you.
Yeah, I would think so.
But I don't like 3D movies.
No, I hate them.
So I don't know how much I want to play a 3D game.
I need to. I definitely want to have the experience. But yeah, I mean, I hate watching 3D movies because it doesn't like. I feel like nowadays the 3D movies that come out, I mean the part of it is that the 3-dimensional effect is so exaggerated that it doesn't seem natural at all. It does give me somewhat of a headache anyway, and I think for anybody who wears glasses, having to deal with a 3D movie is just a little bit more cumbersome than it would be otherwise if you had like contacts or good vision in the first place. But like I remember like even watching Dread in 3D, it was just the hallways are too long. The foreground is way too damn far away from the background that it just seems unnatural. And so I don't know that that's gonna really. I don't know that VR suffers from the same thing, but I hate that about 3D movies. It's just it's so exaggerated that it completely takes you out of the movie.
Yeah. Well, I think you're probably right. I think the effect is going to be like less nauseating.
Yeah.
With a with a set of goggles, because in that case they are giving you two different images.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to make one image read differently for both of your eyes.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind seeing Dread in 3D. I mean, I have better than 20/20 vision.
No, I do
and
not.
it still bothered me quite a bit, and it wasn't just because of the glasses. But I mean, I like seeing it just because the drug scenes in that are so much more
like, that was
trippy.
Effective. Yeah, that was very effective.
Other than that, everything was I'd have rather seen that in 2D.
Yeah. It's much better.
If I had been paying more attention to the show times, we would have.
That was completely your fault, but
it was. I do make a relatively small number of mistakes. So I just wanted to get your feelings on that, the Star Trek.
I mean, of course, who doesn't want to be a member of the fucking bridge crew on the Enterprise? That sounds awesome. So yeah, I'm super curious about it. But I'm probably gonna wait to hear, I guess, what other people have to say.
I think I'm probably never gonna play it, but there's probably always going to be a part of me that's curious.
Yeah.
Like I wonder, like, if you're the helmsman, what are you doing? Like, minute to minute.
Just hanging out.
Right?
Right? That's awesome, though. I'll hang out.
You're like, I'm on the bridge.
That's badass.
I have the best seat in the house for the view screen. And when something goes wrong, there's going to be a button. And it's going to say, hit X to fix the problem.
Yep. Awesome. I'm going to get like a Star Trek uniform and wear that while I play Star Trek Bridge Crew. That'd be fucking fun as hell.
How much of that whiskey have you had?
Enough.
Good times. We'll say subject over there.
Okay.
I think we got enough of that. Actually, that was the end of my list.
Wow.
I think I mean, it was the end of my what do you call them? Video game list. I was thinking about this earlier today. I haven't seen anything about Eater in a long time.
I have no idea what that is.
EITR? I think it means... Actually, I'm going to take that whole sentence back. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
It might mean like snake or something in Norse. It's the isometric Dark Souls-like game that was supposed to come out this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now I remember that. I don't know how interested I am in that, but...
I would be there. I
mean, I guess it sounds interesting.
Basically, it's like you're playing old school Diablo.
Yeah.
Or like, any of those abbreviated 2D, 3D games that we used to play on the Sega, like Captain America and Avengers. And then but you're playing it like a Dark Souls game, so your positioning and your dodge and your management, like, I could get behind that. I could have some fun with it.
I'd certainly, I'd play it for sure.
I haven't heard anything about it. I'm hoping it's still a thing. I'm hoping it's still happening.
That was a crowdfunded thing, right? Weren't they looking to crowdfund that project?
I have no idea.
No, I don't know either. Maybe I just made that up.
Somebody go give them a lot of money so that this happens.
Yeah.
And then we were going to talk about Longmire.
Okay.
So, Longmire is a procedural TV drama that follows a cop whose namesake is part of the title, Walt Longmire. He's an old-fashioned sheriff. And he's the sheriff of Absaroka County in Wyoming. And it follows him and the people immediately around him and the different goings on in this this place and the reservation, which is called the Res in the show.
Cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Seasons 1 through 3 aired on A&E. Seasons 4 and 5 are on Netflix. Well, I should say all of them are on Netflix, but seasons 4 and 5 were made by Netflix. And season 5 was just released this last Friday, I think.
Good stuff.
And you have seen, apparently, I did not know this, basically none of this.
Basically none. I would say maybe the first 4 episodes or so. So my opinion is Katie Sackhoff plus.
Katie Sackhoff.
Big plus.
Big plus.
I have kind of an irrational hatred toward Lou Diamond Phillips, though. It's hard for me to get over. It's emotional.
What did you do? What did Lou Diamond Phillips do to you?
You know, I'm not even sure. But for some reason, whenever I think of Lou Diamond Phillips, I think of him in a movie called The Big Hit with Mark Wahlberg. And I remember hating him so much in that movie. It may have just totally stained his character or him as a human being for me in some sort of deep subconscious level. That it is an irrational hatred, that I can't take him seriously as a person. I don't care about anything that he has to say. And I don't respect him in the least. So that's probably a problem, though, that is specific to myself and doesn't really speak, I think, to the quality of the show, you know, overall. Or
so this is like me and Tamo Panette Kid.
Okay.
Right? That's the guy who played Carl Agathon.
Oh, yeah, he's a rat bastard.
Carl Agathon, for those of you who don't know, is another Battlestar Galactica.
Holy shit.
Who we, or all people, should despise.
Yes.
As much as they love Katie Sackhoff for playing Starbuck.
Yeah, she is amazing.
I gotta say, I like this Longmire thing.
Well, have you watched season 5 or?
Okay, so I've seen the first episode of season 5,
Okay.
and I've seen all the other seasons.
Okay.
I like pretty much all of it. I feel like the writing's a little weak at the end of season 1 because it starts to get like, I think it's
okay.
So I have like a thing against strangely incestuous plots.
Okay.
Like, and when I say incestuous plots, I mean, like, if you were to watch, like, Arrow is like the #1 offender for me.
Okay.
Like, no matter what happens in Arrow, like, there's the guy who plays Arrow, and then he's got, you know, his dead girlfriend's sister, and a couple other people that he's always like hanging out with. And no matter what the plot is, all of them have something to do with it. And it's like weird connections. And it's like, you're supposed to be living in what is the equivalent of New York City. And somehow every plot involves the same 6 people.
So are you saying, like, you mean incestuous in the sense that, like, every character has some sort of weird connection to?
Yeah.
Like
I'm not saying
okay.
I'm not saying that members of the same family are having biblical relationships with members of the same family. What I'm saying is, like, there are times that, like, if you were to watch a Star Trek episode, like, you don't see Data or you don't see LaForge because they just don't have anything to do with it.
Okay. All right. I kind of see what you're saying.
And it gets kind of weird at the end of season 1. And after season 1, I feel like it gets better. Like it starts good, and then like the last 2 or 3 episodes of season 1 are not so great. You can muddle through it. Season 2, 3, 4, good. Season 5, I've seen 1 episode of. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's out there.
Well, that's exciting.
and you can watch
I
it.
probably will at some point. I mean, I do love Katie, so I'm still crushed. I'm crushed that she's not going to be Carol Danvers in the Captain Marvel movie. And
who is the woman that they got to play her?
I want to say Brie Larson is the name, but she was in 21 Jump Street, which is actually a fantastic movie. And then I think she was in Amy Schumer's movie, whatever that was called, Trainwreck. She's been in other stuff. She's very small, very petite. She's not Katie Sackhoff, man. I just
I googled it, and it says in the best tradition of internet clickbaiting, why Brie Larson will make a perfect Captain Marvel.
Ugh, yeah.
Man, if I read that, I probably have to read every word of it in sarcasm.
I know. It's this is like, so this is a problem I think with in general, like seeing, I think at least this is more apparent with female action heroes than it is with males, though males have their own, there's certainly some problems there. But like, I want to believe that the protagonist of a particular movie can throw a punch that would be capable of doing some real damage to just about anyone. And this is a problem. I'm having a hard time believing that someone like Brie Larson is capable of that, whereas I don't have any issue at all with Katie Sackhoff. And this was something true. I mean, this was true too for Sarah Michelle Gellar in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's like when you see her stunt double, it's amazing. Her stunt double's fucking awesome. But you watch a fight scene with her and it cuts to, Buffy, it cuts to Sarah Michelle Gellar in her fighting stance with her fists up, and you're like, you could push her over with a fucking feather. It wouldn't take anything. So yeah, I don't know. I'm disappointed that they went with someone small and petite and adorable to play Carol Danvers. This fighter pilot. This someone who should have some bulk and should look and looks like she's, that she's fought somebody before, that she's been in a few fights. I feel like Katie Sackhoff could pull that off without any issue. It's one of the reasons I'm sure that we both love people like Gina Carano. But yeah, Brie Larson, who's played mostly either a sort of adorable sister sidekick to Amy Schumer or the love interest in 21 Jump Street, is now going to have the powers of a Kree warrior. And I don't know. It's a bit of a leap. It'll be fine, I'm sure. It'll be fine, but I'm a little disappointed.
Well, let me start by asking, did you see Edge of Tomorrow?
I did, yes. Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what Emily Blunt looked like before that movie.
Yeah.
But she looked like she could, like, seriously throw down.
Yeah, she had just some sharp edges to her. She actually maintained that a little bit in Sicario, which is not a movie I really liked very much, but I do like her. But she reminds me a little bit of Sarah Connor from Terminator 2.
Yeah. Well,
Linda Hamilton.
I mean, particularly where she's like hanging out and what she's wearing.
Yeah.
I think there's an intentional.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Like if they said Emily Blunt's going to be your new Captain Marvel, I'd be like,
I could get behind that for sure. Yeah.
After seeing that movie, I'd be like, yeah, I would not want to mess with her.
Absolutely.
Not even a little bit. I mean, like a little bit, but only if she let me. But anyway.
Right.
It's always as long as she let me.
Of course.
We would be especially careful.
No, consent only matters up to a point.
Whoa. Whoa.
It depends on body type.
Oh, man. No. But stakes are higher when you're pretty sure she can just raffle stomp
Right.
Otherwise, I would be like, as long as I can outrun them,
right?
Like, that's okay.
Right. Brie Larson, there's a certain amount of acceptable risk, is what you're saying, and with Emily Blunt is less so.
This has gone too far. This has gone too far. But no, to get back to the point, I'm disappointed with the whole Brie Larson, Katie Sackhoff, Miss Marvel.
And not that, I mean, I like Brie Larson. I like her in what I've seen her in. You know, I'm not, and I imagine she'll be able to pull it off. But but still, it is disappointing.
And it's not to say that she couldn't go hit the gym
right
every day,
right,
until they finish the movie, and she may come out. Maybe she is the next Linda Hamilton.
That would be amazing. But
yeah.
What are we saying? I mean, Linda Hamilton's the queen, but
she could be the 2018 next best thing.
Sure.
Is it 2018?
God,
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, there, I told you we'd get off track.
Yeah.
So, watch Longmire. Do you have any closing thoughts?
No. Not specific to this episode. No. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm done.
You're done. Okay. Podcast over.
All right. Bye.
Anyway, thank you, everybody. If you made it to this point, please make sure to address all of your hate mail, mostly to Midget Radio, for only respecting women up to a certain point.
I don't give a shit anyway.
We will see you on the next Wednesday night, gentlemen, Multimedia Empire official podcast, episode number 4, which will probably be next week because we have political discourse and Luke Cage coming out next weekend. So a little bit of good news and a little bit of bad
really
news.
Bad news. Yeah.
Really, really terrible. Really terrible.